Oh, yes, thank you for watching Where Blades Walk. It's episode 6. Claire says the championship is great, isn't it? We don't have to play well to win games. But in the Premier League, we had to play well just to keep the score down. We have got passionate fans, Connor and Ed, to review the game against Derby. We're looking at just how good Hamer is, and we're reviewing all the right backs and looking at the strength and depth in that particular position on this week's episode of Where the Blades Walk. Drop us a subscribe, drop us a like, and we'll roll the titles. You set off my senses, like a gallon of blackbird, like a package of like a book against yourself. That's still the best song in football, isn't it, by a country mile. Welcome, Connor, and welcome, Ed, to Where Blades Walk. And if you haven't yet found the channel, you're very welcome. Please drop us a subscribe, as we've mentioned before. Right, we're going to jump straight into it then. Connor, you must never want to get promoted to the Premier League again, playing like this. It's a dream on a Saturday, isn't it, to watch the team win at Bramall Lane?
I know, we seem to be in that awkward position, that like yo-yo sort of club where we seem to be too good when we're in Championship, and then we get to Prem, and for whatever reason, obviously barring that one season, it just never seems to work out for us. But I mean, I can't really complain. Just seeing us actually win, I think we've won more games than we have last season already.
Yeah, you have, yeah, that's right. Yeah, over the whole game of the 30 games. All right, we'll talk about the free kick if that's okay then. First of all, beautiful curling effort into the far right hand corner, and we should of course mention the celebration as well, because that was absolutely amazing. And of course, Maddie Cusack Foundation rightly, and as lots of other fans have said, saying absolutely how brilliant it was for Hamer to reveal the shirt, and of course remembering Maddie as it was a year ago, which sadly she lost her life. And good on the referee, I thought, as well, not to book Hamer for that celebration. So an emotional celebration for all involved as well. So well done the club. Ed, I think you were there seeing that one go in. Were you one of those as he was about to take the shot, going, "This is going in"?
No. Seasoned pessimist. No, I thought it was a left-footed opportunity, to be honest, from that position. But yeah, happy to be proved wrong.
Absolutely. You've done some data statistics on the game, which I just want you to talk us through, especially on Hamer. Let's have a look at the graphics that you've done here. And if you don't yet follow Ed on Twitter, do so, because it's at Data with Ed, and he does some amazing reports on Sheffield United. First of all, let's look at him. Let's look at the pass map on the left-hand side there. What are the key things that stuck out for you, Ed?
Well, this new position for him. I know he sort of tried to play that position in the Premier League last season, but yeah, tough gig for anybody in that team, really. But this season, he's really sort of taken that role to new heights. Sort of obviously centrally used to be playing there for Coventry, and that's where most people are used to seeing him getting his sort of goals and assists. But yeah, he's made this left wing position his own. And yeah, as you can see, he's getting into some really dangerous areas. Plenty of passes into that penalty area, and a couple of key passes which have led to shots as well, which is obviously what you want to see from your attacking players.
Yeah, until you see it like this, you don't realise his all-round contribution to the game, isn't it? It isn't just the runs forward, but the passes he put in as well. Connor, for you, is he a Premier League player in a Championship league?
Oh yeah, he's He's just every game you're expecting him to score, and it's like, especially when really he's a centre mid, he needs a top goal scorer. He probably will come end of season the way he's going. Yeah, it's just every game he just doesn't surprise you. He's just 100%.
Yeah, that heat map there, Ed. Does that tell more the story of Derby's kind of tactic of not really to come forward very much his average action height?
Yeah, you'd expect it to be obviously in the opposition half if you're seeing some of the ball as a forward, obviously, which he was seeing, as you can see from the other points. You're seeing the ball plenty, but yeah, that takes into account everything. So even the defensive side, which is completely underrated, I think personally for him, the amount of gut busting runs he does to track a man back and win the ball for the team, it's yeah, second to none.
Absolutely. And then finally, just on Hamer. What's his market value now, Connor? Should anyone want to buy him in January? Because that's what everyone says. Oh, enjoy Hamer while we've got him, folks. What price is he currently at for you?
I think for me, it's a case of it's not what his actual market value is, it's what he's worth to us. And if we sold him, it's very unlikely we could get someone in at the same quality. So you've got to put a stupid price tag on. So if anyone were to come in, I'd say 30 million minimum.
Okay, that's a lot, isn't it, for a Championship player? But this is no ordinary Championship player. I want to get you some other views on some other players, Brooks in particular. Bob says, no Blaster, no worries. Brooks before Raksaki all day long. He's one of our own. Lewis Baines also said, Hamer was class, Vinny the Master, Raksaki excellent, Seriki and Brooks were excellent when coming on too. Ed, where do you stand on the Brooks-Raksaki debate?
Obviously paid a lot of money for the loan, so I guess the club kind of wants to see some return on that, and presumably there's a minimum number of games he needs to play for us for that loan to be worthwhile for either party. But I don't think he's really nailed that spot down at right wing. I think a lot of people would agree Brooks, when he came on, probably did more in that opportunity than Raksaki did in the first 70. So I think it's Brooks' shirt for me to lose now.
Connor, you agree with that?
100%. Yeah, well, I've been having arguments with United fans on Twitter about it, and I understand exactly what Ed said. It's like we've paid him money for the loan deal, so United are going to want to play him. But it's every game. Brooks may only have 20 minutes when he's coming on, and then obviously he lost his spot due to the concussion injury that he had. But the fact is, as soon as he was back able to fit, for me, he should be straight in, because it's. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a case of it. He needs to settle. Obviously, when we had McAtee, we can't forget that he come on the first game and it was shocking, and he grew and grew as the season come on. And I think the same will happen with Raksaki. But I think at the minute, who's better in form? It's Andre Brooks, clear for me, and I think he 100% deserves that spot.
Okay, a couple more players I want to get your opinion on. Harry Suter. Also, who seems to be becoming better and better each game for the Blades. Liam says, it's happening again, isn't it? We should never fall in love with a lone player. And Leah says, there's lots of takeaways, but in there, she said, the biggest for me was Harry Suter. The man is an absolute monster and was the best signing of the summer. And of course, you've made some excellent signings, but Connor, is that something you can jump on board with, that actually the best signing for the Blades was Harry Suter?
To be honest, I think he's, especially with how we're playing in set pieces, and like against Derby, all we kept doing when we had a corner was send it to the back post. Suter would win it every time, and it's not just the fact that he's helped us solidify that defence, and we've kept like 3 clean sheets in a row, first time since I think it was September 22. And like I say, we haven't seen that in a while, and I mentioned it previously in one of our other videos about Anel and Suter maybe trying that combination before Robinson went out injured. And I think that really has shown the last few games that is the best pairing by a mile. And yeah, like I say, it's high is just such a major advantage to us. We can use it attacking and obviously defensively as well.
All right. One more for you, and you've agreed with everything that's been posted so far, but I want you to debate this one between you, if that's okay, and also want your thoughts if you're watching or listening in the comments below. Lee Dick says, O'Hare, I'm not convinced. He's a luxury. His transfer feels a little bit like Leon Britton. Different players, but both expected to come in and be that midfielder to make a big impact. Physically, he's not there yet. However, he's done well in spells. Okay. Luxury player. Ed, kick us off.
Yeah, it's a tad harsh, maybe. He's a player that operates in that sort of 10 role, and you don't get a lot of fruit there. You've really got you're operating in a dangerous area. You've got possibly 2 centre halves always trying to nip at your heels. It's a really tough position to do. And I think, to be honest, with the chances that he's had, I think he's getting into dangerous areas. He's putting those passes into the penalty area. Luxury may be a bit harsh. Sometimes he can go missing, I think, at times. That like he said, he's got a slight frame, can get sort of knocked about quite easily, but that 10 role is pretty tough, I think.
Connor?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with Ed there. I wouldn't say he's a luxury player as such. I don't think, especially in this league, you can afford to really have them when you want to be pushing for the top two. And I think sometimes it can go quiet at times. But the main thing for me is the link-up play that he has with Gus has added that extra little bit of everything to Gus's game, and probably helped him playing out of position and getting used to this new role. And I think, obviously, without that, I don't think Gus would have scored half the goals he would have. And I think just for that key reason that Gus is our best player, and we need to do everything we can to make him play to the best of his ability, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. Are you fearing, either of you, that you're not tonking these teams yet? Derby are a promoted side. They did. They did put 10 men behind the ball for most of the games, but so far this season, you haven't had a statement win. I saw one poster put. Are you looking at games thinking someone's we're going to give someone a right tonking one day, or are you looking at games thinking we should be doing better against these sides? Where are Sheffield United in terms of your aspirations for them, Ed?
I think we're playing some good football in phases. I think back to the first game of the season, that QPR game, that opening half an hour, that football was phenomenal. To say this was a completely new team as well, I think the context of that's, we're not talking about we've signed a couple of players. Most of that starting 11 is pretty fresh. We're playing a new system, and the football's been fantastic. I think eventually when the stars align and strikers are in the right position, I feel like Kiefer Moore's quite often sort of in the channel rather than the guy in the middle waiting for the shot. I think eventually, the stars will align and we'll put 4 or 5 past somebody. So I'm not too worried at this point.
Okay, Connor, is it all going to come together?
Yeah, I think it's a bit frustrating at times. Obviously, when we've only got these 1-0 leads, it's always obviously, like I said, a risky lead. But it's not a fact that we're not creating chances. It's just a case of we're not burying them chances. Against Derby, first half, we wasn't at our best. We were poor decision making, sloppy passes, but we still could have been in at half time, probably 2 goals to the good. And like I say, if we can just get that, just finish that end product just finalised and get them few extra goals, it'd be so much more comfortable, because at the minute I'm always worrying when it gets to the last 5 and we're only 1-0.
Okay. All right, let's have a look then at right backs. Thank you very much for that. Right, so we've done goalkeepers, we've done central defenders, we've done left backs last week. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it. And now, to conclude it, we are on right backs. Now, this is what transfer markets say you've got available in terms of right backs. I'm pretty sure that not all of those will see in that right back position, if ever. But Connor, in terms of strength and depth, how do you see this particular position for the Blades?
Yeah, so initially I was kind of worried in the transfer window. Obviously, we lost Baldock, we lost Bogle as well, and it was a bit worrying. But to be honest, I think when I've seen Sariki play, he's really impressed me. I've really been surprised by him. Again, Gilchrist, since he's come in, wasn't 100% on him at first, but he's grown every game. I think Norwich away, it was man of the match. It was phenomenal. Shackleton, I've not really seen much of him. He did make a substitute appearance, I think it was against Watford, and he looked really lively when he came on. Great going forward, and he surprised me how fast he was. Obviously, it's really unfortunate with Sach Devi broke his leg in the last game for the under-23s. So he's going to be out for the season now. But I think even with him out, we've still got 3 really great options. Shackleton, he does have a iffy injury record, but I think if we can keep all 3 fit, we've got some really good options. And I like that we've got that Shackleton, Sarika, great going forward, and I think Gilchrist is that really solid defensive right back that we can use in them big games where we might be Leeds away, when we need to sit back and keep it tight at the back. But I think overall we've got some really good options there to look for the rest of the season.
Okay. We've finished now the run through of your defensive unit. So out of 10, Connor, ignoring the results so far, where do you grade Sheffield United's defensive unit for this season?
I mean, I'd probably say 8 out of 10. There's always a room for improvement. I think overall we've been really, really good. Other than maybe QPR when we let the 2-goal lead slip, I think other than that, there hasn't really been much we could have complained about, to be honest.
Okay. How's Cooper done for you? Plymouth fans keep asking me.
Oh, literally, he's not done anything wrong. Not put a foot wrong. There might have been the odd pass he's sent out of play, but you can't really complain. He's commanded the box really well. I think you can really tell with the defence when they've got a goalkeeper behind them they can trust. They know they don't have to worry. They don't have to second guess of sending the ball back to him if they need to. And I think that has really helped solidify that defence, and that's why we've been keeping these clean sheets now.
Okay. All right, Ed, what would you give it out of 10? Advance on 8?
Yeah, I was thinking 7 or 8 out of 10. I think we haven't played a top team yet, so I think it'll be interesting to see how this sort of new back four system copes against a probably more threatening attack. We've seemed to marshal all threat so far, so yeah, okay. Pretty solid.
Okay, all right then. Off on your travels this weekend, and it's a bit of a long one for you go to down to Pompey. Let's bring in a Pompey fan, Sam. Let's hopefully. There we go. Hi Sam, can you hear us?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, good. Tell these lads, Pompey going to get the first 3 points of the season this weekend?
It's a tough fixture, isn't it? But I'm hoping. But from our home form this season so far, I haven't got a lot of optimism, to be fair.
Yeah, your fixtures have been totally rubbish to you, haven't you? Playing, we've done Burnley, we've done Leeds. Now you've got this. Yeah. Now you've got this lot. Are the performances better than the results suggest?
I mean, definitely on Saturday, that performance against Burnley was something to be proud of, despite the result. But the home performances so far have been a bit lackluster, to be fair. So we'll see what happens.
And you've got goalkeeper trouble, haven't you? Because half your fan base is crying out for a goalkeeper switch against the Blades. Is that likely to happen? Is Norris going to get dropped?
I can't see it personally. I mean, obviously we know we brought in Nicholas Schmidt, which is a good keeper by the looks of it, but I think it's harsh coming at Norris with the tough start that we've had, to be fair.
Okay. So, relegated Blades against promoted Portsmouth. Connor, this should only really go one way, shouldn't it?
It's never that simple in Championship, is it? You could be top versus bottom, and it could look like they should be the other way around in the league. I think our away form is really, really good this season. So I would like to expect us to go there and get 3 points. That's what obviously won if we're going to go for that promotion. But I don't think it's going to be an easy game whatsoever. I think it'll be very similar to the Derby game. I think it'll be a close game.
Okay. I'll get a score prediction from you then. Sam, what do you reckon?
Optimistic, I'm thinking 2-1 Portsmouth, but realistic, probably like 2-0 Sheffield United.
All right. Ed?
I think I'd echo a 2-0. Yeah, I'd like to think we keep a clean sheet, but yeah, we've not been, like we said earlier, we've not been putting teams to bed. So yeah, 1 or 2 goals. All
right, okay. Cheers, Sam, for popping in. We'll wish you all the very best. Obviously, after the game this weekend. Cheers for that. And for you two, just a final question. We're heading into October now. So as mentioned at the top of the show, this is the month where most managers lose their job. There is no case I don't think we need to talk about that your manager's job is under any kind of threat. But I did want to ask, has he won the doubters over now? And are there less chats in the pubs and on the concourses about his style of play? Are we now 98% behind the gaffer? Connor?
Yeah, I've been 100% ever since he came back. For me, there was no manager out there that wanted to take that United job. The position they was in, the way the club was behind the scenes, there was no one really out there. And the fact that they managed to fix that relationship, the Prince and Wilder, to then come back, and I think it was a lot of unfinished business on him, especially being a Blades fan. I think he didn't want to leave it how it was. And for me, I'd give him a lifetime contract till he wants to retire. I'd happily leave him here until he wants to. Yeah,
We are recording this, so we'll come back to you. What about you, Ed? Did you have any doubts when he was reappointed at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll be honest. Happy to have been proven wrong completely. As soon as he came in, you saw he got a reaction out of the players almost straight away. I think it was at the Liverpool game, early doors. He came in and that put a performance in. You saw he got Andre Brooks in. He played out his skin. As soon as that came, you sort of thought, right, yeah, maybe he can have a go at this, and trusted with the rebuild.
Yeah, I am surprised that Andrew Brooks hasn't been. I watched that Preston game, the first game of the season. He was amazing there. So yeah, all for one of your own being played in front of whoever. Interesting, even though you need numbers for loans. Thank you very much, you two. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe, as I've already mentioned. Follow Ed on Twitter, who does some, as I said, excellent ones. Follow Connor, also on Twitter as well. And, of course, next week we'll be here reviewing the Pompey game. And we haven't mentioned it was a Sheffield double this weekend. I think it was a triple, wasn't it, as well? Didn't you won the ice hockey, someone said as well. So three results right in your favour. So happy Blades all over the country this weekend. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will catch you next week. Thank you, fellas.